Hi nerds, my name is Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel, Jacqueline Discovers Books. I'm on a quest to read 100 books in 2021. The year is coming to an end fast. And if you're anything like me, you are a few books behind in your reading challenge. So today I'm going to share a couple of books that I enjoyed that were on the shorter end to help you reach those reading goals for the end of the year. So the first recommendation I have for you today is called Passing. I just finished this book actually, and it was a 4.5 star book for me. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to give away too much, but the book is about two black girls who grew up as friends together, and then one goes off and lives her life passing as a white person. But then they come back together in their lives, and that's where the story starts. I'm not going to tell you anything more than that. It's a great book. It's short. It's about 165 pages, and the ending surprised me. That's all I'm going to say. Definitely recommend. My second recommendation is a book that I've already mentioned on my channel before, but I love it and it's worth mentioning again. It's Charing Cross Road, and it is a nonfiction book of letters between an American and a British bookstore owner, and it spans multiple years, and other people from the bookstore get involved in the letters, and it's just a really endearing, sweet story, and I highly recommend it. Tears will be shed at the end. My third recommendation is books of poetry. Is this cheating? Not in my book. So I have two recommendations by Mary Oliver, who is a poet that I've discovered this year and have fallen in love with. I read this year Dreamworks and Felicity by Mary Oliver. Both of them I loved. Felicity was my favorite of the two. Now, poetry is not something you want to speed read through. You definitely want to take your time, reread, but even with doing that, you will read those books faster than you would, say, a novel. So highly recommend Felicity and Dreamworks by Mary Oliver. My fourth recommendation is Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. Now, if you're like me, you might have grown up in the church, but have some questions about your faith. And C.S. Lewis addresses a lot of those issues with Christianity and the church that you might have. And he does so in a way that's really accessible. I love how C.S. Lewis explains things. And he also tells you in the book, if this is too complicated or if this is something that's boggling your mind too much, just skip this part and come back to it. So he's really accessible, and it's an easy read, and I would highly recommend to anyone who is having questions about their faith. My fifth recommendation is The Postman Always Rings Twice. This was a book recommended by my grandfather, and as I started to read the book, I just could not stop giggling because it's quite a scandalous book. It actually came out in the 20s or 30s, and it was banned in a lot of cities because of its lewdness, I guess. There's a lot of steamy scenes, there's murder and crime, and it is definitely a roller coaster ride. It will give you some whiplash, but it's a really fun ride. So if that doesn't bother you, if you don't mind a few steamy scenes in a book, I would definitely recommend this one to you. My sixth bonus suggestion is a book that I can't really recommend because I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to end my year reading The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. It's a classic. I've never read it. It's under 100 pages, so it'll be an easy one sit-down read, and I'm looking forward to having another classic under my belt, and that's how I'm going to end my 2021 reading challenge. In a future video, I'm going to talk about my goals for reading in 2022. Will I ever read again after the year I've had? Stay tuned.